Today we're going to talk about how to write a good introduction. For your paper, you're going to need to have a 5 to 6 sentence introduction that sets up the content of your paper, and that should have a couple of different parts. I've pulled up here the sample research paper, which you can find on either the Blendspace or on my website. So if you want to take a look at that on your own, you can pull it up while I talk about it. There are a couple of different parts that I have highlighted on here that your introduction also needs to include. This part in pink up here is the attention getter. Your paper needs to start with an attention getter, so that should be the first couple of sentences of your introduction. An attention getter is pretty simple. Its exact purpose is to do exactly like it sounds. It's supposed to get someone interested in reading your paper. It should grab them. It should be interesting. Remember how we talked about not starting necessarily with a rhetorical question, because that's not always the best. You can start with a fact, an interesting fact you discovered in your research. You can start with a strong statement, kind of like Miss Armilio did here, or you can start with some sort of grabber that gets your audience's attention. If you're having trouble coming up with this, just make sure you see me and I'll help steer you in the right direction based on your research. So the first couple of sentences should be that attention getter here in pink. Then a couple of other things that your introduction needs to have. This part in yellow right here is the claim. Your claim should come somewhere in the middle to the end of your introduction. So right here, the claim for Ms. Armilio's paper is that social media outlets like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram have changed the way people interact and consume the lives of many. So your claim needs to go somewhere towards the middle or end of your introduction. She also has a quote in here to back up her attention getter. And then the last part here in blue is a transition into the first body paragraph. So the last sentence of your introduction should be a transition. So this statement is actually introducing the topic of the next paragraph. So by reading this, I can tell that the topic of the next body paragraph is going to talk about how social media outlets have been a detriment or negative to society. So 3 things that your introduction should include: an attention getter, which is up here in pink, claim, which is in yellow, and make sure you're transitioning to the topic of the first body paragraph. All in all, your introduction should be about 5 to 6 sentences on average.